Do you like that show? Yeah, me neither. Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 guilty pleasure TV shows. For this list, we're looking at television series that you thoroughly enjoy viewing, despite possibly being embarrassed to admit to that or trying to hide your love for. We're excluding reality TV series because those have a list of their own.
Hello!
Number 10, Girls. This show was divisive to say the least. There aren't many HBO shows that we deem to be guilty pleasures because the network is known for its premium content, but this one is an exception. While at first, Girls seemed like a natural successor to Sex and the City, when it was released, it was criticized for a lack of diversity and for its characters' perceived self-involvement.
Can't believe you just said that.
I did.
But the thing is, Hannah and her friends aren't exactly supposed to be likable. Despite the detractors, the comedy drama can be enjoyable, and some people might even consider Lena Dunham to be one of the voices of her generation.
It's okay. It's okay. I mean, think about it, like we were all just doing our best, so.
Number 9, Glee.
Look, I know I'm just a sophomore, but I can feel the clock ticking away, and I don't want to leave high school with nothing to show for it.
When Glee first aired, it was considered great television, making several of the best of the year lists back in 2009. But as the seasons went on, the plotlines became much more involved in the teenage characters' love lives, with everyone on the show seemingly dating everyone else at some point. Because of that, adult fans may not have been quite as likely to chime in about the ships they were pushing for. But the show actually had plenty of heart until the very end, and we probably could have followed these characters and their messy love lives for many more years.
This is sort of cheesy. No, it's beautiful. I just had to see it.
Number 8, Scream Queens. Ryan Murphy created Glee, and he was also the man behind our next pick, Scream Queens.
A lot of people talk smack about how sororities are exclusive and they're a class system. Well, guess what? Life is a class system.
This show tragically only ran for 2 short seasons, but we couldn't get enough of it. The story took us inside Wallace University's Kappa Kappa Tau sorority, where an old murder mystery begins plaguing current members.
Not on my watch.
With an all-star cast including Emma Roberts, Ariana Grande, Jamie Lee Curtis, Billie Lourd, Lea Michele, and Abigail Breslin, what was not to love? We're still not sure why this was cancelled. Well, okay, maybe it was the plummeting ratings.
Good. Then it's decided.
Number 7, Dynasty.
Hey, guess who's, oh my god.
Soap operas never get any respect, even if they're of the primetime variety. 2017's Dynasty is a reboot of the popular 80s soap and focuses on several very wealthy families. It has all the drama that you'd expect from a show like this and keeps you hooked week after week.
And everything we've survived. I mean, a fake marriage, a fake divorce, our moms, your pervy uncle, a basic ex-girlfriend, Twitter trolls. And now, the scariest test of all, our pasts. But I think that if we can survive that, then we can do anything.
Not only that, but it was created by Josh Schwartz and Stephanie Savage, both of whom were involved with Gossip Girl and The OC. Watching programs about rich people falling in love and screwing each other over isn't exactly intellectually stimulating, so we understand why you'd want to keep this one to yourself. But that doesn't mean we're going to stop watching it.
How did you get out of the health facility?
You mean the nut house that you and your husband locked me away in?
Good news. They said that I'm cured.
Number 6, True Blood. Remember when we said that HBO shows weren't usually guilty pleasures? Well, we can't forget about this one.
You're our first vampire.
Am I that obvious?
I knew the minute you came in. Can't believe nobody else around here seems to.
He does.
Supernatural romance isn't exactly considered culturally respected as far as genres go, especially with the Twilight franchise as its most prominent example in the early 21st century. But True Blood is tons of fun, vampire love triangles and all.
Sookie.
Bill?
What are you doing here? That's Sookie. It's her dream.
It was on the air for 7 seasons, and critics actually responded well to its first few seasons, despite its lowbrow content. It was, after all, created by Alan Ball of 6 Feet Under fame. Even though the later seasons weren't quite as good, we'd still watch them all over again. Number 5, Younger.
At the time, I was one of the youngest people ever to make editor. I was 25.
I'm 25.
Don't worry, you don't look a day over 7.
Sometimes a lighthearted comedy is just what we need. Younger stars Sutton Foster as a 40-year-old who wants to get back into the publishing industry after being out of the workplace raising her daughter for 15 years.
I'll start as an assistant.
Oh, that would be weird.
I mean, assistants are generally right out of college. You're way too old.
Overqualified.
No, I think she was gonna say.
Orange.
She finds that people are reluctant to hire her due to her age, so she decides to do something tricky. She lies and says she's in her 20s. And it works.
Maggie, you won't believe this. I got the job. I am working for Diana Trout, head of marketing. 26.
While there's nothing particularly challenging about this show, it's tons of fun and the perfect antidote to a bad day. Number 4, Pretty Little Liars. If you're over the age of 16, you probably don't exactly want to brag about watching high school dramas.
I mean, it's not like you go to college and then you just start speaking a completely different language. It's about getting into college.
And there's hardly any that are quite as dramatic as Pretty Little Liars. This show had us wrapped around its finger though, and we just couldn't stop tuning in episode after episode to see what awful things would happen to the residents of Rosewood, Pennsylvania.
You stay awake, do you hear me? No, don't you dare close your eyes!
Some of the plotlines were absolutely absurd, but we didn't care because we were so attached to the liars and couldn't wait to see what would happen next.
But the 4 of us getting arrested for her murder brings Lo to a whole new level. Technically, they think that we're accessories, not killers.
No, an accessory is a necklace or a handbag, not a chain gang.
Call it what you want. We're all going to jail.
Number 3, You.
Hello there. Who are you? Based on your vibe, student. Your blouse is loose. You're not here to be ogled, but those bracelets, they jangle. You like a little attention. Okay, I bite.
Even though it may seem pulpy and voyeuristic, You, which is available on Netflix, is actually a really good series, which is probably why everyone's talking about it. The critical consensus on Rotten Tomatoes is positive, saying, quote, You pairs thrilling drama with trashy fun to create an addictive social media horror story that works its way under the skin and stays there.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna try to figure out who you are, why you look so concerned about the state of that heirloom tomato.
While it may sometimes seem silly and dramatic, the themes in You are actually really interesting and relevant in these times when there's so much discussion of men's treatment of women and the power of the patriarchy.
I will figure out a way to get to you. See you soon, neighbor.
Number 2, The OC. What's not to like about The OC? It has a gorgeous setting, an intriguing premise, plenty of drama, and of course, Seth Cohen.
Christmas or Hanukkah?
I'm not.
Don't worry about it, buddy, because in this house, you don't have to choose. Allow me to introduce you to a little something that I like to call Chrismica. Chrismica?
Sure, it's a teen drama, but it actually has a lot going for it if you go beyond the genre. Why do you think people are still watching it over a decade after it aired?
Ryan, look out!
Okay, so we agree that things got a little dicey after Marissa died at the end of season 3, but hey, not all shows can retain their greatness until the very end.
This is how it's done in Orange County.
If you somehow missed out on this one in the early aughts, you should absolutely give it a shot now. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
I'm gonna walk you down the aisle the right way. With all your family from Mexico present, blessing us and cheering us on.
I love you.
I know.
You know what, Ethan? You're a dirtbag. You treated me like crap. And you used me, and I loved you.
Jane,
No, I am still talking!
See the New Yorker in the Chanel jacket that doesn't quite fit in? That's me, Dr. Zoe Hart.
We witches have way more talents than just spellcasting. Telekinesis, healing powers, limited weather control.
We can control the weather?
She said
limited.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Riverdale. There is probably no guilty pleasure show currently airing that fits the bill more than Riverdale. The premise is a strange one, Archie comics, but make it dark and sexy.
We shouldn't do this.
We definitely shouldn't do this.
But the end result is shockingly watchable and has amassed fans both young and old.
This town's changed. That needs to be acknowledged. Why are people so afraid of the truth?
This is the epitome of modern teen content. It's progressive without shoving any after-school special style lessons down your throat, and it's tons of fun. Not to mention there sure is a lot of eye candy.
Not to be a complete narcissist, but I thought people would be more...
Obsessed with you? Any other year you'd be trending #1 for sure.
You've got to give this one a try now if you've been too embarrassed to watch the first episode when it first aired. Trust us. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.